Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this video I will list 10 fun facts about Mexico. Enjoy this video with no ads. Now on to fact 1. Before Spanish colonization, Mexico was the Aztec Empire, which were the natives who dominated that area. But in 1519, the Spanish colonies invaded the Aztec Empire and successfully captured the Aztec Empire in 1521. By 1605, Spain started expanding across Central America and Southern America. Spain started extracting resources for trade, but by 1807, Napoleon declared war against Spain and Portugal. Spain fell under Napoleon's rule, which distracted its attention from New Spain. By 1810, Spain still fights for independence. Meanwhile, New Spain is rebelling against its colonizers and wants independence. Now on to fact 2. By 1821, the Spanish colonies officially gain independence. These are what the borders looked like then. A few years after independence, several Central American states separated from Mexico due to back government and lack of rights. And about 2 decades later, the Mexican-American War started and Mexico lost, ending up losing half of its territory. Mexico was 3 different empires before it was modern-day Mexico. The first being the Spanish Empire. It was part of Spain. Next, it was called the First Mexican Empire. Lastly, it was then called the Second Mexican Empire. To conclude the history of Mexico, it was pretty sad. Because during colonization, there was so much resources extracted from Mexico, and after independence it kept losing territory. Now on to fact 3. Mexico's GDP is $1.3 trillion, and a GDP per capita of $9,800, with an HDI of 0.79, followed by a population of about 130 million. Now for military, Mexico's active personnel is about 261,773, and a reserve personnel of 81,500. For military rank, Mexico is the 31st strongest country. Mexico's inflation rate is approximately 4%. Mexico has 0 nukes. Mexico's landmass is 761,600 miles squared, and in kilometers it is 1.973 million kilometers squared. Mexico is the 14th largest country in the world. Now on to fact 4. Mexico is in the North American continent and in the Central American region of North America. Mexico is in the ethnic region of Latin America and in the continental landmass called the Americas. This is the geography of Mexico. In the north there is mostly dry lands and desert. In the south there are forests. But in the south, many people from the southern border, like Guatemala, immigrate to Mexico because of the forests. It's hard to keep guard of the border. Speaking of borders, Mexico shares a land border with 3 countries, Guatemala, Belize, and the United States, and also maritime borders with Cuba and Honduras. This is the Gulf of California. It is not California, and California does not connect to the Gulf of California, and the Gulf of California is not California. California is not the Gulf of California. Understand that. And now on to fact 5. Mexico is a member of the United Nations, known as the United Mexican States. Mexico is in CARICOM, which is a Caribbean Community Organization, which automatically means Mexico is in CARIFORUM, which is CARICOM and the EU into one organization. Another organization that Mexico is in is OECD, which is an economic alliance. Yet again, another organization. This is called NAFTA, which is a trade agreement. Yet again, another organization Mexico is in is WTO, which is World Trade Organization. Yet again, another organization Mexico is in is APEC, which is Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation. Yet again, but this time it is a military alliance. It is called the Pacific Alliance. Mexico is also a part of G20. Now on to fact 6. Mexico's biggest ally is the United States. Mexico doesn't really have enemies. It has remained neutral in many global conflicts, so Mexico has developed good diplomatic relations with many countries. Some more allies of Mexico are Colombia, Peru, and Chile. This is not Texas. It is Chile. Understand that, even though Mexico is allied with the United States, Mexico still has good diplomatic relations with China and Russia. Some other allies of Mexico are Brazil, Canada, Israel, Spain, United Kingdom, and Japan. To conclude fact 6, Mexico has many allies and good geopolitical relations with foreign nations. I did not realize that. Now on to fact 7. The capital of Mexico is Mexico City. Mexico is divided into 33 states. Take a look, but you can always pause the video to look. Mexico borders 2 oceans and other seas. The 2 oceans are the Pacific and the Atlantic, and for seas, Mexico has the Gulf of California, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean Sea. You will not forget about the Gulf of California. Now on to 3 quick facts. Quick fact 1. Mexico is the largest producer of silver in the world. Quick fact 2. Mexico City is the oldest city in North America. Quick fact 3. Mexico City is sinking 10 inches per year. That was very quick. Super speed facts. Now on to fact 8. Mexico's government is very similar to the United States government. There are 3 branches of government, which are the legislative, executive, and judicial. The president leads the executive branch. The Chamber of Deputies and the Senate make up the legislative branch, and the Supreme Court leads the judicial branch. The type of government Mexico has is a federal presidential republic. Mexico's government is a limited government. The name of Mexico's constitution is called the Political Constitution of the United Mexican States. It's also called Political Constitution of the United States of Mexico. The current president of Mexico is Andrés Manuel López Obrador. I'm not sure if my text-to-speech said that correctly. Sometimes when I put text into my text-to-speech, it says it incorrectly. But anyways, now on to fact 9. Mexico's main imports are automobiles, electronics, machinery, petroleum, and medical equipment. Mexico's main exports are medical devices, fruit, vegetables, beverages, petroleum, electronics, automobiles, and crude oil. Mexico's biggest trading partners are the United States, Germany, China, and Canada. If a Mexican crosses the border into the USA, they could get fined up to $250 or get deported back to Mexico, maybe even jail time. But if an American crosses the border into Mexico, the same thing could happen: fines, jail, or deported. The same thing if a Mexican crosses into Belize or Guatemala, and again the same thing if a Belizean or a Guatemalan enters Mexico. Now on to fact 10. I have a huge time crunch. There is no time to waste. Mexico's capital is Mexico City. Mexico was originally the Aztec Empire until it was colonized by Spain. This was Mexico at its highest land extent, the first Mexican Empire. If you try to cross the border, you could get deported or sent to jail. I cannot fully summarize the whole video. There is just too much information. Here are the first time shoutouts. Shout out to @Dilang8607 and shout out to @Glendaligan4989. Now here are the second time shoutouts. Shout out to @GMoney917 and shout out to @UserSomebody9BN7 and 5K. Thank you all for watching my 10 fun facts about Mexico video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you want a shout out. Bye for now. I'll see you in the next or previous video.